from the nation's heartland. You're listening to Mundo in the Morning on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Joining us, Quinton Lucas on KCMO Talk Radio as he is overseas for the next couple of days. I appreciate you fitting us into a busy overseas schedule, Mr. Mayor. Good morning or good afternoon to you.
It is good to talk to you. I'm going to be with the Republican mayor of Oklahoma City here in a little while, talking about business opportunity in Middle America and hopefully bringing some dollars back to the I-35 corridor. But, always good to talk to the Pete Mundo crowd here on a good morning in the U.S., afternoon in Germany.
So explain to me why you and the Oklahoma City mayor couldn't meet in Wichita instead of Germany.
Because we're trying to get money from Germans, right?
Oh, okay. So all right. See, you left out that important little nugget. All right. I got it.
It's who was it? D.B. Cooper said, why do you rob banks, right? That's where the money is. So we continue to believe in terms of trying to get more investment. I'll be touring a Mercedes-Benz factory here soon. And, of course, we're looking at other business opportunity. Every day is a chance to sell Kansas City. We're getting a lot of international attention now. OKC will actually have a bit of the Olympics coming up. So that's the goal, and hopefully we come back. But don't worry, I'm only gone for about 2.5 days, and so I'll be back for Chiefs football Sunday and to raise more ruckus when I'm back here soon.
All right. Well, that you bring that up. Are these car companies, to use Mercedes-Benz as an example, are they looking to open up facilities here in the Midwest? And if so, why would they specifically target Kansas City and or Oklahoma City? Why this part of the country?
Oh, yeah. Short answer is we can. I won't give away anything other than to say yes. People are actively engaged and interested in opportunity in the Midwest, and there are a few different things to lead to that. Obviously, there are some very real trade discussions in the United States now that speak to, is there an opportunity to make more, particularly supplies, parts, and others in the U.S., and so I think those relationships will continue to grow. My goal all along in the tariff discussion has been, rather than lamenting perhaps what challenges may exist, and there are very real ones, is to study, all right, well, where is there an opportunity? There are companies like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Volkswagen, others, and lots of other companies outside of the car business that want to continue to sell to a popular and robust American market. As part of that, they will need to look to bring some more manufacturing here to the United States. That's where I think some of us see a good opportunity. Always see a good opportunity for cultural exchange as well, but my goal is always dollars. And, we're not just going to sit back and kind of wait to see how the modern moment goes. Instead, I'd love it if we can bring a good supplier, if we can bring a good company and a larger presence to Kansas City, something we've worked on previously with our friends at Mercedes-Benz and something I hope that we can deliver in the future.
Boy, you're making a heck of a case for President Trump's tariffs, which, of course, if these companies build their vehicles, to use this example, in the United States, they are absolved from the tariffs. They're bringing maybe jobs to Kansas City. They're bringing business to Kansas City, all because of these tariffs that the president has obviously used to his advantage. So did you expect to be in this place this morning, maybe finding yourself somewhat supportive of the president's tariff plan?
Look, the job I was hired to do by the people of Kansas City was to build more jobs, create a safer community long-term, and to make it a place that's great to live. And so part of that is living in the realities in which we exist now. I don't think tariffs are a good idea. I think it's raising expenses, particularly for farmers and others, and lots of folks in the United States. That being said, there are ways that it can work for Kansas City. Part of that is we have a good industrial background and basis. We have been in the automobile industry for years. We have gigantic plants. We have a good workforce. Some of that workforce has been impacted recently, particularly my friends at the General Motors plant in KCK. But I'm going to look to see how we can build it up. And so I think this is one silver lining point of the tariff discussion now, which is, people got to look anew at the United States. And when they look at the United States, I think they're going to see a place like Kansas City that has a great workforce, affordable cost of living, a good place to build, and friendly governments in Missouri and Kansas. So I will do all the work I can. If I can bring 1,000 jobs to Kansas City, and if part of it I have to say, hey, Trump has some things right, I'm happy to do it. We need more of that collaboration in the United States, and maybe we'll be the sign of it from Middle America.
Mayor Lucas is here on KCMO. So your trip to Germany, this has nothing to do with maybe the German soccer team coming here and using this as a base for their World Cup. Is the World Cup in any way part of these conversations for you this week?
I talked about the World Cup wherever I go, but all I'm going to say is I'm here for business opportunity, both short-term and long-term, and when we have more to report on that, too, we will be sure to share it with you.
All right. Well, speaking of business opportunity, earlier this week I was sharing here on KCMO that it seems like the Royals are progressing in their conversations up north and, of course, maybe on the Kansas side. From what I'm hearing, Washington Square Park may find itself in a third-place position right now, maybe a distant third-place position right now in the running to land the Kansas City Royals. How do you feel about things at this point in time?
I always feel good about these things. I mean, I'm usually up at 6 a.m., by the way, but I listened to your show on Monday morning because I said, heck, he did the tease. Let me see if I hear something new. I think your sources are people that are connected to some of those folks. I hear from other sources that conversations are going in a different direction with Kansas City or the state of Kansas. I believe none of it. I think the real story is that the Royals continue to evaluate their options. I think all options are real and on the table. I won't be naive about that. I think money matters a lot, but I also think that what can be pulled off successfully matters a lot. Kansas City, Missouri has something the other two sites don't. Last weekend, we did 2 concerts that had 35,000 people, basically the seating capacity that you're looking at a new stadium. They came in and out efficiently in the same location that we're looking to talk about building a baseball stadium. So you had it tested. You saw pretty good ingress, egress. You saw a very safe environment. KCPD did great. Kansas City Streetcar, KCATA, Parks and Rec. You see it tested. It was beautiful. People had a great experience. And by the way, Chapel Roan made lots of money. So I think if the Royals are looking at not just the pitches that we've made, not just the money that's on the table, but actually how does it work? How does it center a community? And how can they be in the center of conversation? Downtown becomes even more of a no-brainer. And that's why I also appreciate our interim county executive. If only she could serve longer, because I heard her mentioning the same thing the other day. Downtown makes a lot of sense, so I'm not worried about what rumors up which week, because I know the conversations I have, and I know we're very much in the running.
Now, you said you thought ingress egress went well. You were there last week, but I heard from parents trying to pick up their kids, and they're walking down Main Street, they're walking down 22nd Street towards 71 Highway. I mean, that's not really a viable situation when you talk about picking people up after a 35,000 person event. So, what's the way to fix that if that location is a solid location for the Royals?
There was nothing broken with ingress egress the other day. I have talked to lots of people, some people who live in Olathe, some people who live nearby. The thing that works about downtown is that there are probably an infinite number of ways to get in and out. My wife went to the show parked near Martini Corners, about 31st and Gillum. Her friends walked up the street. She got out in probably about 5 to 10 minutes. There are others who walked down the street, went back towards downtown. There were some who got lost. I've stuck in a line of Ubers, but frankly, that's actually just more relating to ride share and that sort of thing. And there's always going to be some bit of crowd when everybody gets out at the same time. And in case you wonder that, go to the Chiefs game on Sunday night, and I guarantee you if it's a close game at the end, it's going to be a pain in the rear getting out of Arrowhead Stadium at 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. It doesn't mean that it's not a great stadium, doesn't mean it's not a good location. It just means that, you got a little bit of traffic for a while. But I haven't heard anybody who said I was stuck for 3 hours, like you heard from the Beyonce show, perhaps Taylor Swift. I haven't heard anybody who says that it was a bad environment, particularly at the venue and nearby. And I haven't heard anybody who said it wasn't safe. And so I think that this was a huge success for Kansas City. And I think it's another example of how great baseball will be when it comes downtown. And that, just like how we're trying to attract jobs and investment from Europe and other parts of America, I think this is going to be another important part of our economic development strategy for the future, driving more people into downtown.
I don't want to get in the weeds, but if your wife is walking 31st and Gillum to that location at World War I Memorial in 10 minutes, I mean, that I you know the city better than I do, I admit that, but that seems like a pretty brisk pace. I mean, right?
No, drove out in 10 minutes. I don't think she walked.
Okay. I was going to say that's amazing. That's a little bit of a hike.
She's an amazing woman, but yes, that is all uphill. I will give you that. I would assume there was probably about a 20-minute walk or so. It's not as long as you'd think, but it is a walk.
It is a walk. Okay. So, but here's the thing. You mentioned that being a highlight. The one thing that it seems like that location does not have going for it compared to the other two getting discussed is the fact that there's no way for the Royals to make money outside of the baseball stadium itself, which was the whole point of them wanting to move to begin with. So what's the case to make for that location and how they can make money other than just baseball games?
Pete, I hate to mention folks that don't advertise with you because I only want to help your advertisers, but there's a barbecue place kind of close to that site near the train tracks. And I ate there, I want to say about 2 days ago. And I was sitting there just kind of looking at the economic development opportunity near you. Obviously, you have Crown Center collaboration with them that can be a wonderful opportunity close to the footprint. On the other side of the tracks, you have an infinite number of spaces, many of which undeveloped or underdeveloped, many of which for sale, that can be part of building what could be an exceptional ballpark district. And I think, to the contrary, what you get is a story that's something more like what you see for the Colorado Rockies, what you see in a lot of other markets where you have an actually year-round type of place where exciting things are happening. I don't believe, and I think Atlanta is a little unique. Everybody talks about the Atlanta example. It is a wonderful model, but I think, their metro area is far more sprawling than ours, which is impressive. But the other thing that I think is different for us is downtown truly is the center of a community. The difference between the other two sites, and I love my friends at North Kansas City, and I like my friends at Kansas, but the difference with those sites is you're moving yourself out of this place where everybody is used to going consistently. So I don't know. I don't know if the 115th and Knoll presents the same story of everybody going there for this large event, everybody getting in and out, and frankly, every highway in the city leading to it. I'd say the same thing for crossing bridges up north. And so this is the one space where you have it tested, where you've seen people make money, and where I think there's ample real estate opportunity to build up a ballpark district, including the hotel amenities and others that you would have, multifamily, et cetera. So it continues to be a no-brainer. That conversation will continue. I think the Chiefs conversation will continue, but probably wraps up even sooner than the other. And hopefully, and I'll stick by it, I think by the end of the year we have solutions on sports. I just know that Kansas City's put a good foot forward, and if the teams elect to go somewhere, I don't think it's a rejection of KC as much as it is somebody's estimating where the best monetary play is. And it's America and capitalism with a dash of socialism because there's government support. But that's how a decision will be made.
All right, Mayor Lucas, thank you for being here. As always, we'll let you get back to your friends there overseas. But last thing, when you tune in for must-listen radio here on KCMO, do you have our app downloaded on your phone? That may be a political liability for you, so you don't have to necessarily answer. But how do you listen to KCMO Talk Radio? Is it an iHeart app? Is it the old school? Do you have a radio? What do you do?
I am listening on the iHeart app. I'm a younger fellow and all of that, so yeah, I think I know where there's a radio in my house, but that's how I'm listening and keeping it nice and quiet, try not to wake up the kids. But that's how I do it. It's on my phone, and probably the way of the world that it's going to be in a few years.
Yep. No, that's a good app. It's a good app. All right, Mr. Mayor, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you back here over the weekend.
All right. Guten Morgen, everyone. Have a good one.
There you go. Working on his German. The mayor of Kansas City, Quinton Lucas, on KCMO Talk Radio.